Hi, YouTube. Today I want to talk about spending money in America. Americans are becoming more aware of the economy and how their money affects and what effect their money have on the economy here in America. So a lot of Americans are no longer spending money frivolously. Um, Particularly on food and restaurants, coffee. We're going to see a lot of small businesses, domestic type of businesses go out of business, unfortunately, because because of the major industries are going out of business. When you have places like Sears go out of business, you might not have much sympathy for the owners of the company, but what about all the employees? Like Sears, oh my goodness, they hired millions of people across the United States. So when they closed their doors, these people were out of work, and finding another job after you've been someplace for years and years, and you're just relying on paying your mortgage and paying your car note and feeding your family, it's not always that easy to find a replacement for that job, especially a replacement where you're making the type of income that you've come accustomed to. And downsizing is great. A lot of Americans are downsizing, but even that, to be forced to do it unexpectedly, that's hard too. So a lot of Americans are choosing to spend their money wisely with money they have, and they're choosing to save their money and not spend it so carelessly like we traditionally have in the past. I mean, Americans have been known to spend money freely, and other countries have taken advantage of that for centuries. But that's really not the case as like it was before. So, and also African Americans are becoming more economy conscious as well. And some African Americans, they want to spend their money in America, and some African Americans want to spend their money with Africa. And one thing is the clothing industry, which most people realize that Africans tend to spend a lot of money on consumables, clothes, jewelry, things like that. But that is taking a turn as well. A lot of over the past 30 to 40 years, a lot of African Americans, and I like to say Black Americans, because I've never been to Africa. My family has been here 6 generations, but some people prefer African American, but Black Americans have become more economically conscious as well, and they're spending their money. They're choosing to spend their money with other Black Americans or Africa. Now the problem is these people. We have different countries that so determined to get American dollars that they are tricking Americans, black and white, into spending money with them, giving us the impression that they're American based or they're African based, when in fact these places are actually based in China or Taiwan or Japan or Korea, and they're not black owned, they're not American owned, but they are determined to get American dollars. And so you want to be aware of this. I've made the mistake of purchasing clothing online. Over the past couple of years, I noticed that this is becoming a big trend where the companies say they're American, and the clothing come from America or made by Americans. And then when you get them, you realize that the mailing address is from China, and the clothing are inferior. It's never the fabric that you ordered. in my case, I never order polyester because polyester does nothing for me. But I usually order rayon, linen, cotton blend. And when I get these clothing, they are polyester. And also they're usually 2 sizes too small. So even though it seems like I'm getting a good deal initially, I'm thinking I'm getting a dress, I'm getting nothing extravagant. I don't expect anything extravagant for under $15. But it's $15 wasted if it's a dress that I can't use because it's too small and the fabric is too flimsy. So after several $100s of wasted money, and I noticed they're getting smarter and smarter. They're getting sneakier and sneakier. They even on eBay. I love eBay, but they some of the sellers they saying we're American based, and then when you get the product, it came from China, and it shipped from China, and sometimes it ships from China and then it comes directly to you, and so. I just wanted to let you know to be aware of that. One thing, if it's a product that you can't even use, that's just money wasted. And then if you want to do business with American companies or African countries, you want to, you want your money to go to supporting African countries or American countries, or you just like American products or African products, whichever the case is. You have to do some research, and if you come up with any ideas of how to fully make sure that you're spending your money with the companies that you choose to spend your money with, give me a shout out so I know too, and I will pass on the information. Because it's very frustrating, and I've lost, I'd say over the past 2.5 years, I've wasted about $400 just ordering things thinking that it's coming straight from Africa or it's coming from America. And once I get it, not to mention that the wait is ridiculous. You have to wait 4 to 6 weeks for your for the items to come in, and then it's just a piece of junk. So try to avoid wasting your money. Try to do as much research as you can. Currently, I just no longer order clothes online. And I hate that because I love ordering clothes online. I don't do it a lot, but I like to do it when I find a good deal. But they have gotten much sneakier with it, and I don't want to waste any more money. And I don't want to just have a bunch of clothes that I can't use. I'm actually going to be opening a tiny secondhand store, starting with the clothes that I've purchased that I can't use. So initially, most of the items in my little thrift store are going to be with items that are brand new. Thanks, you too.